Welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment.
Good to be here.
Good
Nice to see you, Bruce.
Dad. All right, we're gonna go to. We started this whole thing, about 2-3 weeks ago. We covered. Let's see, we covered planning for long life, something you need to do when you think about retirement.
Absolutely.
Also, health care expenses, because they can increase.
Right. Might.
That was last week.
Now, but I always look at might as plan for it. It is gonna. That way you're safe.
Probably so.
All right. Now the other thing, a housing plan, or it may even be a couple of housing plans.
Well, housing is an important aspect of retirement, unless you're going to sell out and live on the beach, right?
Well, that sounds good too.
You can do
Well-
that some places.
Yeah, I could sell some shells. I'd be good at that.
First
Probably.
thing you have to have is a beach, though. But go ahead.
Yeah, and not in Houston.
No.
No.
Right. So let's, housing. So you got a house, you're getting ready to retire. A lot of people say, well, I'm going to downsize, I'm going to get a smaller place, and I'm going to use some of that money to fund my retirement, yada, yada.
Right.
And that makes sense. Well, the problem is, remember the little housing crisis we just came through? Now, values are coming back up.
Right.
But had you been retiring when that was going on, you might not have got as much money for the house that you thought you were going to get.
Right.
And then you go to buy a house, it's always, they want retail when you buy and they want to get wholesale when you sell them.
Of course.
So that's how that goes. So now if you're planning on doing that, housing becomes very important. If you're going to use housing value equity in your home, the difference to help fund, call it senior community living, whether that's assisted living or living in a senior community to where you buy into the community, and it's very popular in Florida and other places.
Right.
So again, housing becomes the issue because the value of the home will have to fund that, because otherwise you'll have to take additional money out of your income to fund that lifestyle.
Right.
Now, so you're planning on selling out. You're going to use part of that for your senior living. Right. But yet one of you gets sick, and then all of a sudden you have this split scenario to where maybe dad needs skilled nursing care.
Right.
Mom's still able to live at home. So when dad goes to skilled nursing care, the problem is dad's income is going to follow him.
Right.
So now mom's left at home in the house. So you're contemplating selling it, downsizing it, getting a smaller place. All of that comes into play, and it puts strain on your retirement income.
Sure.
So the best time to have this conversation with your family is before it becomes necessary, because the strain on income, because remember, you're on a fixed income voluntarily because you've chosen to be unemployed.
Right.
So when you're on that fixed income, you got to be careful about your housing, because housing can be a major problem as you move forward.
Yeah, and this is all predicated on you want to sell your house, and you think your house is worth so much money. It's worth it, but it's only worth that much money if someone will pay that much money.
That's right.
Yeah.
And as you said, when we had that downturn, some people were going, everything was flip-flop and
Well, then reverse mortgages became very popular.
Yeah, right.
And we've done a couple of segments on that, but reverse mortgages, there's lots of misinformation about reverse mortgages. And the best thing you can do, and basically what that plan does, it utilizes your equity to supplement your income.
Right.
That's the purpose of that. A lot of seniors will pass away having never used one of their largest assets they ever owned, their home.
Right.
And they were either impoverished or struggling when they had a source of income they could have tapped. And the information surrounding a reverse mortgage, the clarity is very important because it is a viable option in some cases, but not in all cases.
Right.
So I've advised for them and against them. It just depends on your
on
scenario.
That's why you need someone who understands financial planning, because
Absolutely.
you hear of reverse mortgages, you can see them in print, you can hear them on the radio, on television.
It's confusing.
For good and for bad.
Not everyone is good, not everyone is above board. it's good to have someone you can trust
sure.
to at least advise you on these things.
On what companies,
Absolutely.
yeah.
We have avenues through our bank that we utilize, and in some cases they're an appropriate option. In other cases they're not.
Right.
But to clarify why they're not and why it's not necessary to think that's what becomes very important.
And that's all on an
that's-
individual's basis.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely.